That is the sound of success in America. The click of a mechanical keyboard, the hiss of an espresso machine, and a number $200,000 a year. A number that, to our parents, who crossed the ocean on crowded boats, who worked 14-hour days in nail salons or restaurant kitchens, isn't just money, it's proof. It's the end of a journey of sacrifice. It's the American dream realized. I reached that number, and I am here to tell you a truth. The truth is, last Tuesday night, I looked at my bank account, and I had to debate whether I should call an Uber home or wait for the next subway train, because I wasn't sure I had enough money to last until the next paycheck. The truth is that your $200,000 dream might be a lie. We, the children of the diaspora, grow up with an invisible debt, not a monetary debt, but a debt of gratitude. Our parents never demand it, but we see it in our father's calloused hands, in the deep lines on our mother's back. They don't ask, but we promise ourselves. We promise to be successful, to repay them for their sacrifice. And in America, success is measured in dollars. Doctor, engineer, a six-figure salary. The $200,000 number isn't just a career goal, it's a moral objective. It's how we tell our parents, your sacrifice was worth it. I chased that number. I got into a good university. I took on a mountain of student debt. I got a job at a big tech company. And then the day came. The offer letter. Gross income, $200,000. I called my mom. She cried. I thought, I made it. I've paid the debt. But I was wrong, because in America, there's a rule they don't tell you. The number you are promised is never the number you get to keep. I received my first paycheck, and I was in shock. This is the first reality slap, the tax bite. You see, that $200,000 number pushes you into one of the highest progressive tax brackets. The federal government takes its share. Then, Social Security and Medicare, called FICA, take 7.65%. And because your income is over $200,000, you pay an additional 0.9% additional Medicare tax. But the biggest shock is the state tax. If you live in Texas or Florida, you pay nothing. But if you live in California or New York, the places with the $200,000 jobs, you can lose another 9% to 10%. Add it all up, and in an instant, nearly 30 to 40% of my income evaporated, vanished. The $200,000 on paper, after all deductions, is really only about $127,000 to $135,000 in your hands if you're in California. Meanwhile, a friend of mine in Texas, also earning $200,000, takes home almost $150,000. How do you explain that to parents who are used to dealing in cash? Mom, Dad, I lost almost $70,000 in 1 year. They would think you were a wasteful child. That $22,000 a year difference between California and Texas, it's like a phantom mortgage you pay every month just to live somewhere with nice weather. You can't explain, so you stay silent. And that is the first lie. You say, I'm fine, while the first burden settles on your shoulders. But $135,000, that's still a lot of money, right? Nearly $11,000 a month. How can you be poor? I thought so too, until I had to pay rent. This is the first black hole, geography. The cost of living factor. You don't live in America. You live in a zip code. And in the places that pay you $200,000, the HCOL, or high cost of living areas like San Francisco, New York, Boston, the price of existing is an insane number. In San Francisco, the rent for a one-bedroom apartment averages $3,500, even $4,000, $42,000 a year, just to sleep. A friend of mine, an engineer at Google, confessed to me, I pay $4,000 a month for an apartment where the kitchen is smaller than my mom's closet back in Vietnam. Your parents hear you pay $4,000 a month for rent. They do the math in their heads. My God, that's a fortune back home. What is my child doing? Analysts call this the erosion of purchasing power. A $200,000 salary in San Francisco has the effective purchasing power of only about $90,000 in Houston, Texas. You earn double, but your buying power is cut almost in half. You can't explain, you just stay silent. That is the second lie. You live in an expensive box and you pretend it's a palace, and then you have kids. This is the second black hole, a silent financial assassin that no one back home can possibly imagine: childcare. In Vietnam, we have a priceless support system. Ba Noi, paternal grandma; Ban Ngoai, maternal grandma. Grandparents raising grandchildren is love, it's tradition. In America, there is no ba, you have daycare. And in these H-call cities, the cost to send one child can be $3,000, $4,000 a month. Some reports show it as high as $5,000 a month in the Bay Area. Analysts have pointed out that in 38 U.S. states, the cost of sending one infant to daycare is more expensive than in-state public college tuition. Let's do the simple math. A young family, 2 parents, 2 kids living in the Bay Area. Total income, $200,000. After taxes, they have about $130,000 a year. Rent for a 3-bedroom, $54,000 a year. Childcare for 2 kids, $48,000 a year. Other basic living costs: food, transport, insurance, $36,000 a year. Their total cost is $138,000. Their take-home pay is $130,000. They are $8,000 in the red. A $200,000 salary. And you don't have enough money to live, not counting savings, an emergency fund, or paying off debt. This is the truth. This is why the high-income broke trend is exploding on forums. But that's an extreme case. What about single people, or those who live somewhere cheaper? Why do they still feel poor? This is the third black hole, and it is the most dangerous trap because it exists within our own minds: lifestyle creep. Our Vietnamese culture teaches us, save. Money is meant to be kept. Business and trade are not as good as being frugal. But American culture teaches you, enjoy. Money is meant to be spent. You live in a society that constantly tells you that you need more. When you made $80,000, you drove a Toyota. When you hit $150,000, your friends are driving BMWs, you ask yourself, why not me? And then you hit $200,000. You've worked 60 hours a week. You are exhausted, you are tired, you tell yourself, I deserve this. You deserve the nicer apartment. You deserve the luxury car. You deserve the $200 dinner. You deserve the trip to Europe. The things that were once luxuries now become necessities. And the trap springs. Because that $200 dinner isn't an indulgence. It's a temporary painkiller for your burnout. That vacation isn't relaxation. It's an escape from the job you're starting to hate. You are no longer in control of your money. Your money and your lifestyle are controlling you. And this is where the $200,000 American dream becomes an American prison. It has a beautiful name, the golden handcuffs. You realize you hate your job. You hate the meaningless meetings. You hate the pressure. You hate the burnout. You want to quit. You want to do something meaningful, but you cannot. Who will pay the $4,000 rent? Who will pay the $3,000 childcare? Who will pay the $800 car note? The $200,000 salary, the very thing you thought would buy your freedom, has now become the chain that binds you. You are a high-income prisoner. If you are feeling this, you are not alone. There is an entire generation just like you. They are called Henrys. Henry. High earners, not rich. Yet, you earn a lot, but your net worth is near zero. You look rich on Instagram, but you are one paycheck away from being broke. This is the tragedy of the Asian diaspora. We were taught to climb to the top, but no one taught us what happens. When we get there and realize we are still trapped, we chased high income and forgot the real goal our parents wanted, which was wealth. Income is what you make in a month. Wealth is what you keep. It's your net worth. It's your freedom. So, is there an escape? Is the $200,000 dream real? Yes, it is. But it looks nothing like what you see on TV. It's not in San Francisco. It might be in Dallas, Texas, or Roanoke, Virginia. In one report analyzing real-life case studies, there was a family in Virginia earning $200,000. They lived in a big house. They drove new cars. They traveled, and they saved $80,000 a year. What was their secret? They escaped the geographical black hole. They chose to live in a low-cost of living, LCOL, area. And more importantly, they practiced stealth wealth. They lived as if they made $150,000 and invested the other $50,000. They don't budget based on the best-case scenario, salary plus bonus plus stocks. They budget based only on their base salary. Bonuses and stocks are gravy for one-time investments, not for paying fixed costs. They use reverse budgeting, prioritizing saving and investing before spending. They automatically pull 20% of their income into their 401k, HSA, and backdoor Roth IRA the moment they get paid. They understood. Financial freedom isn't about being able to buy a Mercedes. Financial freedom is having enough money to say no to a job you hate. They changed the metric. They stopped chasing lifestyle. They started chasing net worth. We, the children of sacrifice, we carry a double burden. The burden of our own dreams and the burden of our parents' dreams. We thought $200,000 would pay off that debt of gratitude, but we merely exchanged one burden for another. A debt to a lifestyle, to a pair of golden handcuffs. I wonder, when our parents were on those boats, what did they truly wish for us? A $200,000 job that we hate, or peace? What is enough? Perhaps success isn't the number on a paycheck. Perhaps success is having enough time to play with your kids on a Tuesday afternoon. Perhaps success is the courage to take off the golden handcuffs. And perhaps success is simply being able to call your mom not out of duty, but because you truly want to, and you are truly okay. The $200,000 number isn't the dream. It's just a tool. A very expensive tool to get into the game. The rest is how you play. If you, like me, are somewhere on this journey, trying to find the balance between expectation and reality, please share your story in the comments. Let's together redefine our dream. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell, because next week we're going to talk about something even deeper. The psychology of stealth wealth. Why the truly rich never look rich. Thank you.